In the last episode, we talked about how we can create a table using a node.js. And in this tutorial, we're going to learn how we can insert some value on the table that we have already created. So for that, make sure to you installed or started the WAMP. So I'm going to go here and install the WAMP. I have already installed it. And the only thing you have to do is to just click on a yes, and that is going to start a WAMP for you. You don't have to do anything or type some code to start it for you. So after that you started here, you can see that this option, this local host or PHP, this local server is in a green color. And after that, go in any browser that you have or you like. So I'm gonna say Chrome. Here I have Chrome, and I'm gonna go and open up the Chrome. And after a few while, it's going to open up the Chrome for you. And here, just type the web HTTP, or even if you didn't type the HTTP, just type localhost php myadmin. If your application be started here, it's going to open up the php myadmin for you. So I press enter, and it's going to guide me to this registration page or login page. And here our database name here is root, and our username actually is root. And if you have any password, you can type your password, and if you don't have to type anything, just click on a go. And after you click on a go, it's going to guide you to the index.php page, which here you can see all the database that you have created. So here we have created the node database, if you remember, and also the user table in the last episode. And the user, we have three columns, the ID, first name, and last name. Now we wanted to add something to this table. How can we do that? Here I'm gonna go in any editor that you are. So here, first of all, require the MySQL, and after that you require the MySQL, create the connection, and here you just have to change this line of code. So I'm gonna come here and go get over of this. uh, so after that, if you wanted to insert something in a database, you're gonna use the insert keyword query actually. And after that, into and call the table name that you wanted to add. Our table name was username, if you remember. Now here, define the columns that you wanted to add values to on. So our first one was ID, the second one was first name, and the last one was last name. And after you type the here came and say values, yes, I'm sorry that I type SQL in a lowercase. It's not a good practice, but I just can't read capital letter, so I'm sorry for. And inside, after the values, here define the values that you wanted to add in table. So our ID, for example, is going to be 1, and the first name is going to be make sure to pass the quotation. If you open up this with the double quotation, you have to type it with a single quotation, because if you pass the double quotation here, it's going to give you an error. And inside this, we're gonna type a name, for example, Alex. And we have also the last name, and in the last name we're gonna type Doe. And now everything is fine. Okay, so now we have to save it, and after you save it, you'll have to restart or start the node application. So how can we start it? Node, and after that the node file name, which is index.js. So I'm going to say index.js and press enter. If everything will be fine, it's going to add or insert this value to your database. Okay, and here we get connected, because we didn't change this. Where is it? Here we get connected because we already connected to the database, and here it's telling that the table is created. So sorry for this. This is just create a table. Let me change it again. And here I'm gonna come and just type insert it. Okay, now we have to restart this application. So I'm going to say node index.js, and after that, here you see that we get inserted. And if we go in a database, refresh it here, and sorry, here in the node, we're gonna go to the node, and in the user, I click on. Here we get. Come on. Oh gosh. My PC got really so slow. Here we have the ID, first name and last name. And you see that we added two times there, one ID with a name with a one ID and Alex and Dove. It's added two times because we ran this application two times, and that's why that we add these values two times here. We can prevent also adding two times or repeatedly values in a database, but we will do it in another tutorial. So this was from adding or inserting value in a database. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.